I first came across Drua the vessel at Bunda Marina when Dr. Peter Nuttall had it up on dry dock. And I was just walking around looking at all the different boats, from all over the world, because I always stay at Bunda Marina when I'm in Lautoka. And so I looked up and I said, what on earth is that? It reminded me of one of the films of the past, like Mutiny on the Bounty or Captain Bligh, setting sail. And so it was a spirit of adventure that, first of all, I didn't even think that it was going to become anything bigger than just an enjoyment, just to perhaps hire it to go sailing around the lagoon. And then I started talking to Dr. Nuttall, and he told me that his son had built it, Sam, and that they were maintaining it and fixing it. And then it was going to be just birthed at Bunda Marina. And so, of course, I went away, and then I came back and I thought to myself, well, I'm not sure how we're going to use this. I took a couple of staff from the university for a ride on it. We went out to the lagoon and came back. It was a bit of a surprise for them. And everyone just loved it because the Drua sails so beautifully, Until somebody had asked us to help with a research project, which was a international university-wide research project on sustainable environment and also climate change and traditional knowledge. And I thought, well, I have not seen a Drua before. It was just a question, can we use this Drua to find out through the villages of Saweni all the way down Bunda whether there was any traditional knowledge that we could use in our research for climate change and mitigation and adaptation. And then everything just fell into place after that. So the Drua was in the water. We found Captain Seta, who was actually the Drua captain. I had met him then. At that time, I met him. We liked each other immediately. And we said, well, let's go into this project. So it became a university project at that stage. And then we started developing the project with other universities from the Pacific and around the world. And we launched it in 2022 and using the Drua. And then we had we have hardly any resources. So a lot of it was money collected from here, there, and everywhere. And then we developed a film around it. It was just a montage from the university. And then after that, nobody thought we would carry on with this. But we did. We somehow found the money for it. And then we got all the schools of the university involved in it, students as well as staff. And then we carried out the research project after that. It was quite a journey. Internationally, when universities or others, politicians, talk about climate change and mitigation, they tend to think about Western ways of mitigating and adapting to climate change, which is now rapidly upon us, much more than even 5 years ago. But we have said, and others in the Pacific also, that there's a lot in traditional knowledge that is held by villagers and people on the coastal areas, and that as researchers, as academics, university people, that we should tap into that knowledge, because there is this concept that knowledge is all Western based or it's based around universities. But in fact, people who don't have an education in the formal sense hold more traditional knowledge about climate change and knowledge about the environment than we would ever be able to hold, because it's oral tradition and it goes through generations of different sets of people and it's passed down the generations as well. So for us, that's the most important thing. But nobody asks them about the kind of knowledge that they have, which we can use at university, as university people, to say, well, my goodness, they're actually better knowledge holders than we are in the formal educational sense. So that is something that I can say that we learned, rapidly along the way. And I wanted the students and staff to learn that too. So one of the things that we really appreciated hearing from Dr. Nuttall was that he's working with shipping agents and other stakeholders to ensure that the shipping itself becomes more sensitized to climate change issues in the way in which shipping contributes to it. And he gave a seminar at the University of Fiji, which we really appreciated. And he talked about his project, and we would like to very much continue to work with him, because we think the Drua project as a whole is part and parcel of his general agenda to reform shipping and ensure that shipping doesn't harm the ocean and the natural environment. Thank you.
I owe my gratitude to Dr. Peter Nuttall and LCU in St. London for the birth of Ebola Singapore, the new rising star. That now we are able to continue the journey of rediscovery, trying to bring back the culture of traditional sailing, canoe building, and navigation into Fiji water.